Music is very important in video games. Unlike real life, music can be used to set a tone. It is often the driving factor to nudging you how to feel about a certain scenario. Look at Skyrim's music, how it gives a feeling of serenity and exploration just by listening to the gentle horns and other instruments. You can close your eyes and just imagine being there. Now switch up that theme with this theme from Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Much more despair, the use of softer strings really used to tug at your heart. What I'm getting at is that music is a hugely overlooked part of the atmosphere of a game. In Outcome Memories especially, I see a lot of people talking about Last Man Standing themes and sometimes the chase themes, but never really the ones that actually breathe life into the game. I'm here because I want to shed my appreciation, as a person who took music theory, to these ambient tracks that help set the mood that is undeniably Sonic.exe. Because ever since I did take music theory, I've grown to really enjoy the ambiance in almost any game now, and Outcome Memories is no exception. Without further ado, if you liked the video, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. Subscribe, and join my community Discord server. And let's not waste any more time, and hop into the video. Now, Outcome Memories has had its fair share of people talking about its fire OST, but usually it's either about the solo themes, which, honestly, fair enough. You don't get one with 10 million views and not have it talked about, and the chase themes, which are less talked about but just as important. But today I want to talk about the map music, the selection screens, and the ambience, and the final 80. And we'll start with the map that is in almost every Sonic game ever, Green Hill. Green Hill in OM is interesting. Unlike other maps, this aims to do something very, very different. Most maps in this game are very horror-centric. X's Castle, Angel Island, I could go on. Really, outside of Mystic Caves, Green Hill is the only map that really uses somberness over fear. This is shown through even the selection screen. It uses a somber piano with other instruments that are more in line with the horror. The high pitches mix well with the lower piano to give both a sense of despair and fear. Quite like how the map itself is dark, grey, and covered in rain. It's literally perfect for this map, especially since most people associate Green Hill with being bright and colorful. It's quite a nice mesh of ideas that really go well together, literally a perfect selection screen. With the selection screen being so perfect, you'd expect the ambient music to follow up quite well, and it does. It keeps the ideas of the selection screen and adds on to it. The soft rain in the background, the gentle music meant to elicit a sadness and somberness. It's very subtle. But it works in this case's favor, where the other maps can be very over the top. This one stays gentle, almost melancholic, as if the characters remember the Green Hill they once knew and are reminiscing at what it has become inside the void. You can tell how good someone is at music when they can set a tone without it being all in your face. And this particular one is unlike anything I've ever seen in a Roblox game. Once again, almost quite literally perfect. So, you fought your way through Green Hill and made it to the final 80. Unlike the subtlety of the two tracks before, this one is very much so in your face. Maybe to signify the soft switch from a rain to a full thunderstorm, such as the original clap that sets off the rest of the song, perhaps representing the lightning. Along with the slow build-up of BPM in Hill's final 80, it's a panic in song form, especially with the drowning motif at the end. I will admit, I'm not a huge fan of this final 80 in particular, but it's not bad. It is a complete tonal shift from the rest of the tracks in the map. I think it feels more at home than Hilljim than what we were given before. Actually, speaking of Hilljim, the selection opens up with a pipe organ, which is very common in old horror. Think Nosferatu. They are extremely common because of the sound they make not being like any other sound made from an instrument. With this being X's Castle, it makes sense that he leads into the more cheesy horror because, let's be honest, Sonic.exe is about as cheesy as it gets. But it's also genius, because in the second half you can also hear the original motif of the original version of Hilljim from the original Sonic.exe game. The ambiance is just as genius. It's very tense and breathy. There is no discernible instrument, except maybe a faint piano in the back. This is much closer to the more overt horror, and mixes well with the actual map. Unlike Green Hill, this is very much so trying to unsettle you, with the fact that the EXE can just kind of pop up out of nowhere. It simulates the feeling of you're being watched perfectly. And not only this, but it's genius as well because it also uses the motif of the original Hilljim in the original game. Again, it's very cold and desolate sounding, perfect for a castle with a being who wants to snap your neck. Unlike Green Hills, the final 80 of Hilljim actually fits the map, though I still don't particularly like it. It's comparable to Green Hill, but unlike Green Hill, it wasn't trying to fill you with the memories of the past. This map, its entire purpose is wanting to unsettle you. It wanted to make you scared, so the final 80 actually works in Hilljim. My favorite map is next, at least when it comes to the OST, not only because it's just good, but it also uses context in the music as well. I will introduce you to Not Perfect. The selection starts out with a deep, reverberating piano with a clock ticking. Depending on how you look at it, it could be signaling that your time is up, or that you're close to the end to escaping. The uses of strings also helps it feel hopeful, but with a tenseness to it. With the subtle goes in there, it's very clear that this is absolutely the map where the characters would feel hopeful the most, perhaps because it's bright or for a completely different reason. All I know is that this is easily my favorite select screen in the game. The ambience is a juxtaposition to the rest of Outcome memories. It's bright, it's dare I say cheerful, it's pink, it's purple, it's green. There isn't a square inch of this map that feels like horror. That's what makes it so effective in my opinion. It's the difference between the atmosphere and the premise of the game. A murderer is after you while you're in a place that seems suited for children. And the music helps this completely. It's bright, but there really is no indication that there's an EXE after you. And then the final 80. This is where that context comes into play. It's the same song at first, the same piano chords, but unlike the selection theme, the final 80 is hopeful. Easily the most hopeful in the game. The use of higher pitched string instruments with the electric guitar helps a lot. This does show that you can use the exact same motifs and have them mean completely different things. It's genius. You Can't Run is next, and I'm going to be honest, I don't really like this one too much. The selection theme is very mechanical, which, makes sense, but I feel like it would have benefited from having a little more in there. It's not bad, and it gets the job done, but unlike the others, this is very lackluster. And the ambiance is not much better. It's droning metal, squeaking on each other. It sounds extremely industrial, which again, makes sense, but there really isn't much to grab onto. There isn't much personality. There's just metal droning on. And maybe that's the point. Maybe it's not supposed to have personality. Maybe it's supposed to be cold and indifferent, like the machinery you're surrounded by. Like nothing in this map actually cares about you. It's not comforting, and it's not oppressive either. It's just there. Maybe that's the point. Maybe this is more genius than I thought it was. Maybe I misjudged it a little too soon. I don't know. Final 80, unlike the indifference of the ambience in the selection, is very action-packed and oozing with personality, urging you to escape, not unlike an action movie. Escape with everyone who's alive, get to the exit before it all blows up. Literally, there is a bomb there ready to take you out with it. This makes sense for this map in specific to have a more action movie type feel to it, because this is the only map where you have to escape before you literally explode. I think it meshes well with the cold indifference of the rest of the map. Before it was depressing, but this is filled with hope and action. I know I've said this before, but it's perfect. And now it's time to go to hell. Literally, Angel Island. It is quite ironic that Angel Island is set on fire, and the selection theme represents this perfectly. With a haunting choir in the background, perhaps mimicking the souls of the damned and the tribal sounding drums. It does sound like a place of paradise that has fallen. it sounds hellish, because that's what it is. Hellish. It fits Angel Island perfectly. I'm actually noticing a pattern when it comes to these songs. The ambiance, long droning guitars tuned very low, the drums distant and far away. I actually suspect they took inspiration from the Diablo series because it sounds perfectly at home in like Diablo 2. Just look. Its use of deep tones and faraway instruments gives off the effect that you're not supposed to be here, or at the very least the paradise that you are in is not supposed to be this way. And if you fight through this hell, you're hit with the final 80. The souls of the damned are much more prevalent in this track. The same ideas of keeping the drums far back in the background is here, and with the long notes, but much more intense, as if the fires themselves have grown larger and are not actively burning you as you make your mad dash for the escape. Angel Island itself is a lot cooler in its music than a lot of people give it credit for. I don't think I've ever seen a game show hell this well outside of the Diablo series. And now for the most controversial map in the game, Mystic Cave. Unlike the rest of the maps, the selection isn't horror focused. Obviously it's tense with its very pronounced chords on every beat and the drums being more in the forefront, but otherwise this isn't quite as horror driven as the rest of the map. I actually quite like that. It's tense, but in a different way than the others. But the ambiance is where it gets me. It's not a song of horror. This is a song of exploration of a deep underground cavern, of a place with beautiful crystals, of a previously unexplored or forgotten place deep in the ground. It's serene, a way that puts you at ease. The strings, the gentle choir, the soft tapping on the piano. This would fit squarely in Skyrim or Minecraft while you're exploring, and I think that's the point. It's showing us the beauty even in their situation, the wonder of where they are. You can't run away, so you might as well enjoy where you are, with the beautiful crystals, the high-up bridges, and the architecture before you meet your doom. I really enjoy this, more than even Green Hill. It's just so different from anything else in the game. There isn't sadness, there isn't fear, it's complete and utter wonder. And you grow to appreciate it, even if the map is not the greatest. And its final 80 represents the collapse of that serenity. The cave itself is literally falling in on you. There isn't horror here. It's an escape of not only the EXE, but also the place you're trapped as well. Mystic Caves is an interesting thing because it was not only able to show us tenderness and complete calm, but it shows us tenseness as well. I think that makes it the most interesting map in the game, in terms of songs. And that is the end of the video. I really appreciate these songs more than anyone else probably. The amount of work that went into them, the amount of effort that went into them is obvious. They poured their hearts out into them, and I think that's a little special. If you liked the video, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. Subscribe and join my community Discord, and I hope to see you in the next one.